Hello, my little piggies. Welcome to I Am a Bit of an Expert, a Peppa Pig podcast. I'm your host, Josh Chapman, and on the end of the line, live from Adelaide, we've got the co-host, Matt Frost. Hey, mate.
Good evening, Josh. How are you?
Pretty good. Ready to get some wind in my sails and go out and fly a kite. I won't start singing that song from Mary Poppins, but that's what I think of when I think of flying a kite. I don't know about you.
I'm not sure what I think of. I think of a Louis XIV song, but yeah, never mind.
You're a bit cooler.
Hey, nothing's cooler than Mary Poppins.
Yeah, that's right. Well, there's a new Mary Poppins. The sequel to Mary Poppins, I think, will be out by the time this is on. So Mary Poppins will be fresh in everyone's mind. So just like we have the Christmas episodes at Christmas, we bring out the kite episodes when there's a new Mary Poppins movie.
Oh, that's a bit of a stretch, but yep, we'll go with it.
Yeah, we'll go with it. This wasn't sort of, planned in our pre-production meetings or anything like that. Make it sound like that we have a lot of meetings. So basically, this is an episode about the family kind of out and about flying a kite. So what goes down, Matt?
Well, as you said, the family goes out and tries to fly a kite. Peppa and George have a go on when it's perfectly still, get puffed out, can't get the kite up. Then the wind comes up and we're away. Kite's in the air.
Yeah, it's a bit funny where they basically puff themselves out and get nothing, isn't it? It kind of trundles along the ground. I have sort of attempted a kite a few times in my life and it seems a little bit familiar.
Yeah, it's not quite as bad as the glasses episode, but this one brought a little bit of was a bit too real in that we have a quite a lovely kite festival at Semaphore here in Adelaide, and we've been a couple of times, and both times we've bought a kite, and both times
I guess we've only got like the Grand Prix
failed.
And stuff like that in Melbourne, so
God,
you guys have got the kite festival. Sorry, I couldn't help myself.
Yeah, jeez. I thought you were different.
I know. Sorry. It still stings. For anybody who doesn't know, the Grand Prix was in Adelaide for decades until Victoria stole it away, basically, and it's still great. It's still a source of contention between the cities.
So if anyone cares what Josh's opinions on car races, we'll have to wait till there's a Peppa Pig episode on car races. But since we're talking about kites, we can continue to talk about
the expert who has the kite festival.
The kite festival. Yeah, so we bought the old supposedly foolproof kites, and just complete failures.
Not daddy proof.
Or mummy proof, or any proof. So. But
dear.
it's very, very hard to explain to your little peppers that when you're literally on a beach where there's kites, the most magnificent kites flying everywhere, and you can't even get the smallest thing in the air.
It makes them question you. You can see it in their eyes.
Yeah, it's just you just see a little bit. Just you can sort of just see life's harsh realities just dawning in their eyes. Like like my parents aren't superheroes; they're actually not even just above average. People. They're just mediocre.
Oh dear. I'm sure they're heroes. You're heroes in other ways, mate. But they can't get the kite off the ground. They get nowhere, and all of a sudden, an absolute gust of wind comes out of nowhere and takes George off the ground.
Yep, and then Peppa, being a good sister, grabs hold of him, and she launches off the ground too. And it's only the Rock of Gibraltar, the heart of the family, the anchor, that saves them. Daddy Pig.
It would have taken quite a gust of wind to get Daddy Pig off the ground, I reckon.
Oh yeah. Yep.
So. He manages to grab hold of the kids and get the kite in the air, and he starts doing a few moves. Starts let's face it, starts showing off.
Yeah, he does. As I said, I've never got to that stage with a kite myself, but I'd like to think that I'd show off
in the air.
Yeah, yeah. I'd like to think that I'd overestimate my abilities straight away.
Yeah. So he gets a little bit Daddy Pig gets a bit cocky. He starts doing a few loop-de-loops and a few moves, and of course, gets caught in the tree. Always going to happen. Charlie Brown style, the kite-eating tree.
It's the same tree as George's dinosaur got stuck in.
Could be. There seemed to be in a bit of a thicket. I think the dinosaur got kind of stuck closer to home. This looks like they've gone out somewhere.
Oh God, what do you say? Thicket? Like, what are you in the 100 Acres wood here? Like...
Yeah, it could be. I was waiting for Winnie the Pooh to turn up. So they
they're in the scrub, mate.
They're in the scrub. They're in the bloody bush, mate. And the kite is stuck, and Daddy Pig tries to give it a few pulls, breaks the thing, of course. The thing is up the tree. So we've basically got a kite up a precarious-looking tree right above a muddy puddle.
I have no idea where this is going at this point.
It's like the setup. It's the setup and the payoff is just, ripe for the picking. I'm kind of looking at the frame now, and even Daddy Pig is looking at it going, I know where this is going. I've resigned myself to this. It's like a guy who's, he's in a circus or something, and he has to perform a trick every night, and he's burnt out, and he just resigns himself that he's going to be humiliated every time.
I actually think that this kite, this tree, this muddy puddle is probably one of the most perfect metaphors for fatherhood I've ever seen.
It's that you've got to basically front up. It's not always going to be great.
Yeah.
And sometimes you're going to get mud all over you, but
yeah, cast your ego aside, do what you have to do, and then just take the jeers.
Well, the little giveaway also is that the kids are wearing their wellies. They're wearing their gumboots already at the start of the episode. Yeah. So you kind of go, "Oh, this is interesting." What they've already got their boots on because if you want to jump in a muddy puddle, Matt, don't know if you know this, you must wear your boots.
Yes, I do know this. It's a quite strictly enforced rule in our own household.
Yeah, that's right. And Peppa sort of notices the puddle and then pulls this sort of like evil smile about knowing that there's a puddle coming that she can jump into. It's not quite the same as the secrets box, but she does kind of go a bit like, I know what's going on. It's time for a bit of muddy puddle action. But
Daddy continues his bravado for quite some time. He says, "I know my weight."
Yeah, he to his credit, he gets up a tree. He gets up a tree that is at least 2 times as tall as he is. Then he goes underneath a branch, which is on a 45-degree angle, which he's upside down on. So rather than going on the top of the branch, he's going underneath. So he's pulling all his weight down. And then he's got his kind of legs are wrapped around the branch a little bit, and he to his credit, he gets the kite, he gets his hands on it.
I must admit, my own heart was in my mouth as whether the payoff was going to be the branch breaks or that Daddy just falls. So
now is the branch breaking is a bit too harsh, isn't it?
It is, yeah. So. And
also, you can't really have the branch. It's a bit like Homer falling down the ravine on the skateboard, and then he falls all the way down, and then the skateboard hits him in the head when he gets to the bottom. You can't really have Daddy Pig fall in the mud and then have a broken branch hit him on the head as he lands.
I must admit, we were just me and Sabine at my 2-year-old piggy were just watching Meep Meep Roadrunner for the first time last night. So we've seen plenty of that follow up carnage. But yeah, Daddy Pig just falls.
He just falls. The branch stays untouched. He makes it down. He sort of dives down like he's taken a screamer, and he's on a 45-degree angle like it's a Warwick Kappa screamer. You can Google that for our international friends. Some Warwick Kappa stuff. Don't Google other things. But he lands with the kite in his hands. The mud goes everywhere. The whole family gets covered in mud, but they're a family of piggies. They're in their element.
Yeah, and did you notice that they still have not been as filthy as episode 1?
No, this one's pretty close.
It is,
but this is certainly the dirtiest they've been since that first one.
it's not that disgusting green tinted mud from the first episode.
No, as we established, might have been where the septic runoff is for the town or something like that. Just to cash in on another joke, but I'll joke a second time.
We did miss too that Daddy Pig said, "I am a bit of an expert at these type of things." So when he was flying the kite,
he was flying the kite and the catchphrase.
Yep.
At the same time. So yeah, and that's about it really. And then everybody gets to kind of jump in the puddle and have a good time. And it's a fun little episode. It's not the deepest little one, but there's some nice little pratfalls in there. Daddy Pig gets a moment to sort of shine and make a fool of himself at the same time, which is sort of the norm really. Do you have any other outstanding points on this one, Matt?
Yeah, it sort of, I quite enjoyed it. It sort of gave me a little bit of a throwback to when I was a kid on holidays and quite bored, was the only kid on holidays, and made a kite out of a garbage bag and some sticks and tied it to a fishing rod and flew.
Oh my god,
you're
talking about telling me that I was Edwardian growing up in the saying thicket. You sound like you were in like a Dickens story or something like that.
Here, governor, kite for just sixpence.
Kite for sale. Yeah.
No. And yeah, so that was a lot of fun, and I liked the end where the narrator sort of berates us with, jumping in muddy puddles is just as much fun as flying a kite. And personally, I don't really know because we've never managed to get a kite in the air, but
it's better than falling out of a tree.
It is a lot better than falling out of a tree, but the narrator does sort of, reassure us that Daddy Pig was not seriously hurt.
No, he springs up pretty quick.
He does,
and to his credit, he's still limber enough to keep jumping in that puddle. So yeah, good little one there. So I think we'll probably stick a pin in this one, and we'll move on to our next episode next week. You can pick us up with us again, which is Picnic. If you want to catch us on the socials, it's at Peppa Pig Pod. You can leave us a message or send us an email, and we've got some very nice tweets and some very nice messages of people. There was we got mentioned in a chap had sort of was writing to somebody else saying that we were his new obsession, right? That we're called Quite Entertaining, which was what higher compliment is higher than Quite Entertaining.
I think I'd happily have that chiseled on my gravestone.
Yeah, exactly. Quite entertaining.
I tell you,
Matt, for us, quite entertaining.
I tell you what, I'm just going to have to pull you up. You've used it a number of times. Just put a pin in it. I don't think that's respectful to a podcast about pigs. I think it, pinning the tail on the pig, or
I was going to say, wouldn't it be disrespectful to donkeys?
Yeah, I don't know.
It was Daphne. If we were doing the French version, which is Daphne Donkey, she probably has her own show in France. It's all in French, but could be. Yeah. We might get letters.
I'm very sensitive after your Christmas episode, as what you're saying about pigs. So
if anybody's still listening after that one,
yeah, there went half of our audience.
Or we double it. You never know. We'll find out. All right, well, we'll catch you next week. And thanks again, Matt.
Yeah, thanks, Josh. Good night, little piggies.
Yeah, we're playing a tune and we're singing a song with a bang and a bong and a bang. Bong, bang, boo, bing, bong, bing, bing, bong, bangly, bongly, boo. Bong, bang, boo, bing, bong, bing, bing, bong, bangly, bongly, boo.